This is a video demonstration of recurring billing, an automated billing feature built directly into Pineapple Payments Gateway. Recurring billing applies to payment plans where more than one fixed amount payment will be automatically processed according to a fixed schedule you've designated. Payment plans can be set up on any schedule frequency and work best for subscription or membership type payments. To get started, you should have already logged into your Gateway account. Hover your mouse cursor over Process Payment and choose Recurring Billing. From the Recurring Billing page, you have two immediate choices. You can click Add New Recurring to enroll a new customer in a new recurring billing plan, or you can input search criteria to find an existing customer's recurring plan that you want to view or manage. If utilizing the search option, you can enter in the customer's name to locate their specific plan, or just click Search to pull up a full listing of all plans that are currently active. This color-coded guide indicates the status of the most recent transaction on the recurring plan. Green indicates the last transaction was successful, red indicates it failed, and gray indicates that that plan has not collected a first payment yet. You can also look at the list to get an overview of important information on customer plans, such as the next run date, the plan end date, or what the recurring amount is. There are additional tools off to the right where you can view transaction history on a plan or see any changes made. You can also edit a customer's plan if any information has changed. For example, by clicking View on this customer's plan, there's a log of every transaction linked to this plan, as well as a log of all changes that were made to the initial plan information. If you return and click Edit instead, you can modify plan information, such as an update to the billing address if the customer has moved, or replacing the payment information if the customer has a new card. Most importantly, there is a Deactivate button if the customer has terminated services and you need to stop billing. Now that you've seen some of the tools for managing existing plans, let's move on to adding a new recurring customer. Your first step in creating a new recurring billing plan is to enter an initial amount and recurring amount. The initial amount is optional and only runs one time immediately when you create the plan. If an initial amount does not apply, enter $0. Next is the recurring amount. This is the fixed amount that will be charged on each subsequent transaction. From this demonstration, let's enter $100 for the recurring amount. Now it's time to specify all other recurring plan details, such as the billing cycle. You'll fill in the blank for how often do you want this recurring transaction to be billed. I want to charge my customer every blank. You can customize the frequency by entering any quantity and specifying days, weeks, or months, such as every 7 days or a monthly plan that's every 1 month. Next, choose a start date and end date for the recurring plan. The next date I want to charge my customer is, and enter your start date. The last date I want to charge my customer is, and then enter your end date. As an alternative, you can leave the end date blank and the recurring plan will run until you manually choose to stop it. You can also set up automatic payment retries. In the case of a recurring transaction that fails on its scheduled date, you can have the system auto reattempt payment up to this number of days, such as a reattempt for the next 2 days. If successful payment is collected on reattempt number 1, it won't retry a second time. Finally, enter your customer's billing information. Include their email address so your customer receives a receipt for each subsequent transaction, reminding them of that payment. You should enter other billing information you find helpful to have on file, or simply input the customer's required payment information. Then click Create Plan. You'll see confirmation that that recurring plan was set up successfully. Beyond recurring billing functionality, there are additional reporting tools that will help you reconcile your recurring transactions. Click on Reports, then Transaction to access the Transaction Report feature. You can search for transactions using date range criteria or filter on the transaction source, Recurring Nightly Transaction. By utilizing these transaction search tools, you can review what was processed and see the status of those recurring transactions. Alternatively, there is a recurring projections report that lets you foresee future deliverables specifically from recurring billing. In contrast to the transaction report that filters transactions that have already occurred, the projections report estimates on future transactions. This completes the recurring billing demonstration. I recommend you review our recurring billing user guide for additional support. If you have any further questions, please contact your sales representative for assistance.